I was at Save Mart today, this morning, grabbing my gym stuff. I usually go and I get a little energy drink and some water, maybe some protein shakes if I haven't already gotten it. And two things happened. The first was a minor little incident that was really cool. The other played on that same concept that I want to share about confidence and being 100% okay with who you are and loving who you are and striving to make that the most important thing that you're trying to learn to improve over time. So I walk into Save Mart and there's two entrances. I go and I walk into the right entrance and I'm greeted by one of the workers and I have made some small talk, but I'm on the way. Keep in mind this is, on Thanksgiving Day, so it's relatively busy. I'm on the way to the section where I know my energy drinks are and my water is. And this guy stops in his tracks and he says, holy, I won't say the word. So, holy crap, that's a rope. So looking at my chains, but that's a hell of a rope or something like that. And I start laughing. Keep in mind, had this been a few years back, had this maybe even been a year ago, there would have been some trigger, some reaction, some imposter syndrome or something like that, right? And when he said this, there was zero of that. And that did not come easily, mind you. That took a lot of hard work on myself to be 100% okay with how I look, how I dress, how I want to look, how I want to dress, how I want to be perceived. And so when he said this, I had genuine laughter, genuine, just a chuckle with a slight smirk on my face. And I keep walking, but kind of towards him. And I put my arm up to fist bump him, and I said, thanks, man. How's your Thanksgiving? And he's all, it's great. And I said, all right, cool. Have a great day. And you can tell that there was a little bit of him expecting a bigger reaction, but at the same time, because there wasn't a big reaction, it was like, oh, well, okay, well, this is who this guy is, right? And I went about my day, or went about going and getting my energy drinks and my water and so on. Then I go into the line to check out, and there's one guy in front of me. His posture was perfect. Tall white guy, probably 6'1". I'm 5'11" and a half, so he's a little bit taller than me. And he, perfect posture. He gets to the checkout counter and talks to the lady behind the counter and starts asking about their day, asking about, what do you plan, or when do you get off, and so on and so forth. And you can tell that it was something that is not normal. I wouldn't say not normal. It is actually normal, but most people will not do that. It's something that, for me, I had been working on for a long time to be able to talk the way he was talking. And they're going back and forth, and then he says, all right, Julia, or whatever her name was, I think it was Julia. All right, Julia, I hope you have a great rest of your Thanksgiving. And walks away. I go and I check out, And as I'm walking to the parking lot, I see him go into one of those Porsche SUVs. I don't know what they're called, but it's a Porsche SUV. Nice car. And I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to go and talk to him real quick and tell him that, dude, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you talk, it's very rare. So I go over, and he's texting on his phone. He has the window up. He's about to back out, and he finally sees me, and he goes and rolls down the window. And I said, hey, dude, I just wanted to say that the confidence you have and the body posture, the body language that you have is extremely rare and really awesome. And he said, oh, thanks, man. It took a lot of hard work. And I said, oh, so it didn't come easily, huh? And you weren't always like this. And he looked at me, big smile, and he's like, no. And I said, dude, I could tell, because I know it took a lot for me to get to where I am now. And he said, yeah, it took a lot. It took a lot of hard work. And he said, my name's Tyler. And I said, oh, my name's Dean. Shook his hand. And I said, well, good job, dude. Like, it's very noticeable and it's very awesome. And he said, thanks. And he rolled up his window. I walked off, and we parted ways. But that was and you could feel everyone around him as he was talking in line. Everyone around him was in a good mood. It was almost, it's one of those things where it's a surprising difference, and it causes a change in the mundane, especially in places like supermarkets and with employees who hear the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. So it was one of those really cool occasions where in the last, I want to say 3 years, 2 to 3 years, I have not seen anybody like that. And at that level of confidence, that level of body language, that level of really trying to work on themselves. And then on top of that, he's obviously doing pretty well because he's driving a Porsche. It could just be a vanity car. It could be something that he's like struggling to do, but at least he is creating that perception. And so why was this important? It's important because it really stood out when this guy was talking. It really stood out to multiple people around. And it was, for me, so cool to see from the third person what it feels like when you're around somebody who has really worked on becoming that confident individual, that person who's comfortable in their skin, that person who is outward giving of themselves, wanting to know the person's name, wanting to know the other person, what they're doing, wanting to know things about others, and how much joy that can actually bring other people. Because we live in a world that is so mundane that the Starbucks cashier, the Save Mart cashier, the people who stock, the people who are janitors, who clean, who do all these different things, all they have the same things happen every single day. They deal with people who literally, it's almost as if they were clones just saying the exact same thing. People who are stuck in their own world, people who are stuck in their own head. And what a gift it was to see this other guy, this other dude, give of himself the hard work that he worked on to make other people's day, to bring joy to other people, to let other people know that they're not alone. Let other people know that somebody actually does care about them. And even if it was an act, even if it was just, he was so good at it because he had worked on it so much that it was just an act, that act brought emotions and gifts that nobody else could bring. And you might be saying, well, if it is just an act, that's pretty messed up.
Enter the roundabout and take.
Do you watch movies? Do you watch television? Do you listen to music? Do you think those actors, when they are in these movies, when they're joyful or scared or romantic or whatever emotion that they are trying to convey, do you really think that that's the emotion that they have at that point in time? No, they have to have the skill set to put on that act, to put on that show, to convey, even though it is completely false, how they truly, really feel. They have developed the skill set. They have developed that skill set to be able to
Mountain Parkway.
make you think that they are sad, that they are happy, that they're excited, that they're joyful, that they're scared. And you truly feel that. So how amazing is it when you can do that exact same thing for people? People who are struggling, especially now with the economic situation. People who are struggling to survive, in debt over their eyes, working 2, 3, 4 jobs, trying to find side jobs, things like that. And now you come just with yourself and you bring them something that feels good, something that changes, takes their mind off of that horrible situation. How powerful can that be? And that's why it's so important to become the best version of yourself. That's why it's so important to work on yourself and to get out of your head, get into your body, and enjoy the gift of you so that you can bring that gift to other people. That was a cool experience. Can't wait to see you do the same thing and bring that joy to other people because you've worked on yourself so hard.